What's up, y'all? Wanted to take a closer look at something pretty interesting from Vosteed. Now, if you watch my shorts, you've probably seen this guy already, and this is the Raccoon V. So we have this anodized blue titanium handled version with the satin blade, and it's got the Vanchor lock. Really cool original lock from Vosteed, and we are going to take this knife apart, take a close look at how that Vanchor lock looks. But first, let's take a look at this knife. So this comes with this cool case. We get our certificate of authenticity and our a little coin here. Let's see. We've got Fidget, Use, Enjoy, Vosteed 2022 to 2025, third anniversaries. Now, all this is very cool. I don't need it. It's going to sit in a box in the closet. Take some price off of the knife or put more into it. We're here for the knives. This stuff is neat. It's interesting and stuff like this. But if I could choose between paying for it or putting more money into the knife, well, I would choose the latter of the two. But anyway, regardless of any of that. This bad boy here. So a big upgrade from the original Raccoon. So the Raccoon was the first knife that I got from Vosteed, and it's kind of what made me fall in love with them. The first thing that caught my eye from them was the Valkyries. I want to say those early button locks, and I don't know. I just never really pulled the trigger on them. I think the Raccoon with the crossbar lock came on sale one day a few years ago, and that got me hooked on them from there. You know, then we had the Porcupine and some of their fixed blades. They've got a lot of really good stuff. I'm really enjoying what Vosteed is doing. They're bringing some cool stuff to the knife community. They do a lot of original stuff. I hear their heat treat is actually pretty good from what I've seen in some independent testing. So I feel like they're doing really good things. So this Raccoon V, we've got titanium handle scales, anodized M390 blade. We've got these nice thick oversized thumb studs that have give just really nice access, really good action for a thumb or finger flick. And with that Vanchor lock, we can depress that to relieve the pressure on the lock bar from the blade, and it kind of just will swing freely. Really cool bit with the Vanchor lock there. M390 steel. I mean, when treated properly, one of the top knife steels of today. You know, we see our new things all the time. We've got our good tool steels and 15V, 10V, K390. I love all that stuff. That's all great. That's all good and fine. M390, 9 out of 10 times for an EDC is all you need. It's got excellent corrosion resistance, really good edge retention, and not bad toughness. I mean, for just an EDC, you're not beating the hell out of it. It's a great steel, and it can do everything that you need it to. But hey, I'm a knife steel nerd as well, so I do like all of that fun other stuff. But I like some good properly treated M390. Now, speaking of the blade and the blade steel, this is ground exceptionally thin behind the edge. Let's take a look here. That's one of the things that really surprised me about this guy is that, oh, it would help if it was on, is how thin it was behind the edge, and that makes for some really excellent cutting performance, some really nice thin slicey geometry there, 15 thousandths behind the edge, the middle of the belly there. Oh, actually, I think I'm a little low on it. Might be even a little bit thinner, so I'm trying to get it in frame and do it at the same time. 13 thousandths right there. That's going to make for some excellent cutting performance. Less material behind the edge, thinner behind the edge means it's going to pass through material a little bit easier, a lot easier. Let's see, we've got a reversible pocket clip, and we've got a filler tab on that side as well. This is the kind of cross-hatched finish. Really nice, grippy for titanium. Really good feeling texture there. Looks really nice with that blue anodization as well. So this knife has some really good action also. Like I like that Vanchor lock action. It's got a really good detent. Better than like other standard button locks and crossbar locks. Like some of those crossbar lock actions can kind of have a mushy detent, but this has a good traditional feeling detent like any liner or frame lock but just that really nice action, ease of access with that lock. Now, if I did have something bad to say about the Vanchor lock, it would be that there is a little bit too much travel needed with the depression of that lock when you are unlocking that blade. So we'll do really good front flipping action, I say there as I fail it twice, but that's just because my finger was in the way. My pointer finger was in the way, but really good front flipping action. So, but when we go to depress that, like if you press it a little bit, it will disengage, but if you're not pressing it all the way, it won't fully drop. So it's not a lot of pressure to disengage, but a whole lot of distance to fully unlock. But it's just another little thing to get used to, and when you get used to it, it's just fine. It's really nice for a quick draw, quick use, quick back, put away, good to go. Really cool original like pivot oriented lock there. So let's go ahead and get into taking it apart to take a look. And, you know, I say what you will about fidgeting with your knives and stuff like that. You know, I like having a knife that's good to use, but a knife that's fun to use does mean something. And this knife is fun to use. It's fun to deploy. It feels good. It sounds good. The front flipping action is fun and great. You know, if you want to fidget with your knife, that's good and fine. And if you don't want to fidget with your knife, well, this knife makes for a really great use, great user as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take this bad boy apart. Let's see what that Vanchor lock is all about. So let's say, you know, we want to tune the action on this guy. So that is actually going to be these two pivot screws as well. Like if you over tighten these pivot screws here, then you would have a similar thing as if you over tighten just a single pivot screw on a normal knife, where we can overcome that, but we see that it doesn't want to fully drop. We won't get that good drop shut action, but you do get a little bit of a stiffer detent when we do that. So we can go ahead and back these out all the way. And I'm going to use this guy here just for a little container for that hardware. So we'll get these two screws out. And those are T6 on the pivot screws. And I believe from here, this piece should just lift on out. So now we can see this, this piece here is what actually moves into the tang of the blade to lock it down here. So let me do that again, but a little more zoomed in. So we can see how it actually is connected to this button magnetically is what holds that on there. And I think there's some spring tension there as well. So we push the button, it moves that piece out of the way. We can see it lift up there, which frees the blade and locks back into place there. So let's go ahead and get the rest of it apart. I'm going to get the what do we have? T8-bit. One for the stop pin and the rear standoff there. And all in all, it's pretty easy disassembly for a knife. Just those two up here and the two on the pivot and two on the scale. And we want to try to, all right, so we can pull this off and see what it reveals there. So we can see this here is the piece that locks into the tang of the knife to lock it in place. So we do have that little bit of spring tension that pulls it up. And we see the little detent ball there to provide us with a detent. And we've got that nice lasering. We've got the Raccoon. 3rd anniversary. Really cool original construction. Original concept there for this locking mechanism. I really enjoy it. Interesting oversized bearings there. So we can go ahead and actually just push this piece out out of place here, and that will fall. And we've got the bottom bearing there, and our blade separate. So here's this little magnetic piece with the button. So this is kind of just free floating in here, and I'll use this little driver to show that button actuation there. So when this comes through, it attaches like that. That's where we saw it before. Very cool, very interesting, original lock method. So we'll go ahead and just get this bad boy back together. It feels pretty well lubricated as is. Let's see, I'll put a couple drops of, well, I don't have KPL on me, so she's going back together dry. She's not dry though. It's got a good bit of lubrication still on there, so yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and put the button mechanism back in through here, and we can see there is a flat side and a rounded side to this. So we see that this piece that is oriented left is flat, and to the right it is rounded, and we can see that it matches that as well. So we will be able to orient that properly back in place. We can push that back right in there, and I'm going to set that down to keep that from happening again. We will get our blade back into place over top there, and we'll go ahead and get the clip side with the locking mechanism back there. Really cool, interesting little bit there. So it's actually, it's when it's not under tension is when it's locked into place, and then when the button is depressed, it pushes it into spring tension to disengage the lock, and then when it's let off and there's no tension is when that locks into that piece on the tang there. Get that back into place. We'll try to get this down evenly. All right, looking good. We'll go ahead and get our body screws back in. I think I still have the T8 on the driver. We'll just get that started. Let's make sure the show side is good as well while we're at it. Don't want to over tighten. Looking good, looking good. All right, we'll put our little actuator cover on there. Let's swap our bit out. We will drop our pivot screws right back in there. And I'm just going to still leave that very loose until I get them both ready to be snugged in, just to keep the pressure distributed all very evenly. Kind of when I feel them start to give any resistance and stop. So got nice drop shut action, nice flick, 100% solid lockup. Tiny little whisper wiggle there. Let's tighten it down just a tad more. Feeling good. Man, this is just a really nice, really excellent action knife. I mean, that is a really good addicting action with that button lock, thumb stud, front flipper. Looks great, feels great, works great. Really awesome knife from Vosteed. So anyway, Raccoon V, really awesome knife. Love the new stuff that Vosteed is doing. Thank you for watching.